Well, I guess it's about that time. Ah, ugh. Must have been Memorial Day of 2015. I got on my motorcycle and I went down to Dayton, Ohio from Kalamazoo, Michigan. And then I crossed over by West Virginia to Steubenville, Richmond, Ohio, on the other side of the state to see another. Both of those are old 82nd buddies. One of them I met in college. He was in the 82nd. We weren't there together, but the second guy near West Virginia, he he and I were in the unit together. And he's one of these guys that rides a Harley. I don't know if they know it or not, but Harley's not supposed to be cool anymore. I saw a guy with a bunch of guns shooting one the fuck up the one day because he got mad at Harley Davidson for some reason. So all of you people on your Harleys, you're going to have to trade them in and blow them up or something and get some kind of new bike. I don't know if it's going to be an electric one that's coming from Elon. I don't know. But I guess now that you're told Harleys aren't cool, you got to get rid of yours. But this guy, he was, paratrooper. His PT scores were always atrocious. But even the 82nd has to have its less fit alcoholics. They're still better than your average leg-aholic, but still. He got out before we went to war, and I think he hates every time somebody asks him if he was in the war, and he has to say, no, I got out before that. I hated the army, that sort of thing. But then they can't live it down that they don't have a story to tell. So they join a militia or something. Anyway, this guy over by Steubenville, where there's a Catholic university in Steubenville, it's a big one, but he's in Richmond, and I rode through there on my rice burner, and he gave me this. He gave me this beer. He got it at in Daytona Beach. Dayton's just across the state, but they've got to go all the way down to Daytona because it makes it sound more, like you went to another country. But yeah, they went down there for their bike week, and he got these Harley Davidson motorcycle, um, genuine beer. It's from Daytona Bike Week 2000. Um, Thought it said something. I'm gonna have to put my glasses on. I'm gonna need them in a second anyway. I swear that it said something about it being a Leinenkugel. I'm trying to give credit to the brand of the beer because I'm about to drink it. Yep, Leinenkugel original. Jacob Leinenkugel Brewing Company, Chippewa Falls in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So he gave me this as something to remember as I rode out on my motorcycle, and I've kept it here all this time. It's There's something different about keeping a can as a momentum, sort of thing, a souvenir after you've drunk the beer and it seems like it's empty and just sitting there. So if I'm going to keep a little bit of a souvenir, it's got to be full. But now that I see that we have found ourselves on different sides of the way things are these days, and I think less of them. it's time for me to do what that guy was doing on YouTube, shooting up his fucking Harley Davidson, pissed off at the company with firearms that I never saw in the military. This guy had everything. I'm like, wow, he really doesn't like Harley Davidson anymore. So I guess I have to get rid of this. I'll say thank you, my old friend, but I don't need it in front of me anymore. I need it in me. Here's to you. Mm. Mm. I know I don't like Leinenkugel Red. They used to sell that $1 a pitcher into Dooley's when I was in East Lansing at Michigan State. Never liked it. I'm not a fan of red beers though, so it just maybe it wasn't Leinenkugel's fault, but this genuine Leinenkugel original, I don't know if because it's been sitting here 9 years that it fermented a little bit more. I suppose if I were to pour it into a glass, it'd be foamy and fuzzy and foggy and full of flecks of shit, like probably poisoned. It's going to make the drunk all the better. But this is a fantastic tasting beer. Mm. Not even going to make a joke. It's a great beer. I wouldn't say that it tastes like the oil of a Harley Davidson because it couldn't possibly be this good. This is what it's like to drink the soul of a megalomaniac. It's going to fuck you up a little bit, but if you're ready for the challenge, it's going to be a hell of a ride. Mm. Oh, I think my cigarette went out already. And it made perfect sense to drink this right now, right here. Old paratrooper buddy of mine. And then here comes a Marine. Oh, look at that. This is an unboxing. Might even make it into the Judas readings, even though I didn't write it. It's not always about what I myself write. If I'm reading something, it must mean something to me. But pure legend. The Marine, the guy that trained me as a DJ on KSJS 90.5 FM, San Jose. He trained me for a week, couple weeks, and then he just let me loose in there all by myself. And we became good friends, and we continue to be. He sent me a book. He mailed me a book. We're about to find out what it is. He got his degree in history, his bachelor's in history. And as it turns out, it was just because he enjoyed, like anybody might take a theology major just so they can read the Old Testament with all the wars and the killing, like Alex in A Clockwork Orange. He really took to the Bible when he was in prison. But I think that Pure Legend became a history major because he liked all the war and the killing and the murder. That's nothing against him. You take someone like that, if they've got a brain in their head, they're good to have around. It's the people that don't have a brain in their head that like that and just listen to everything they're told. They're the ones you don't want to be around. They're going to get you and them killed, and probably your whole family abused in some way or another. But this came in the mail today. It's from Pure Legend. So there's more military coming. What's it called? Desert Fox. Desert Fox. As soon as I said that, I had this bout of tinnitus come over me. I don't usually have this, but it's just me. It's almost like when the Joker's about to do something. You see, I'm not a monster. I'm just ahead of the curve. Then everything goes to shit. Desert Fox. Says Samuel Mitchum has written an accessible and comprehensive introduction to Erwin Rommel. He sent me this book, The Storied Military Career of Erwin Rommel. We're about to read about a Nazi tanker. Was he Nazi or was he German army? I'm not seeing the swastika or the SS things on him. There's the eagle up there on his head. See, there is a difference between a German soldier and a Nazi. It's a difference between a Republican and a megalomaniac, if you want to look at it. That's probably the best way to describe the difference in them. I'm going to read from it. I'm pretty excited about this. I love deserts. And what I learned with the reading is fundamental program when I was in elementary school. They taught us when you're looking to choose a book, pick it up, open it to any page, and read like a page or at least a paragraph and see if you can comprehend what's going on. Because if it's way too much to just look up a new word, if it's constant, you're not going to get anything out of it, and you're not ready for it yet. So I'm going to read at least a paragraph and maybe a page out of this book that Pure Legend sent me. He found, holy shit. Oh, okay. He found it interesting enough to send to me. I just saw there was a price tag on it, and I thought it said 0.99, but it looks like it's $8.99. Sometimes you get books like this for 99 cents or 10 cents or 20 cents that nobody wants. They're getting ready to throw in a dumpster, but this is the stuff we're supposed to know. Even a megalomaniac would like this book because it's going to tell you how to run your tank brigade once you take over Camp Grayling up there in Grayling, Michigan, and you take over their tank division. I'm sure there are tankers in the militia now. All they need is a tank. But I'm going to read paragraph. The Panzer Army remained immobile all of November 16th. Only Rommel's reputation prevented it from being destroyed. His power was gone, but the legend of the Desert Fox was not. The British had been thoroughly beaten by him before, and now they were intimidated. Had they attacked, they would have destroyed the entire Axis field army in Africa. You see that? That paragraph right there just describes Rommel's memory. They remember him as how good he was, and they didn't do anything more than remember in real time how good he was when they faced him, and they backed off because they remembered in real time. But they're living on memories in the past. They didn't know they could have gone into the future and destroyed his legacy of fame. It may be that very few people knew how close to failure he was, and this is very good. It's something everybody should understand is how close they are to failure at any moment. And the more we get to know these people, the more we're able to think about now in real time when we're moving toward the future, and just forget remembering that person in real time and fearing your own destiny. Thanks, Pure Legend. Yeah.